Question for yes, sir.
That's what right. That's it.
Quick question for us.
He got a reel on Facebook. He asks question. Kind of crazy questions.
Oh yeah, the monkey is a monkey. It's a monkey.
Is a monkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
It look really funny. A monkey talking, asking the question.
Yeah. I look up when I hear it.
AM 97 WSTX.
Okay, music, and then we go in. You familiar with flock cameras? Flock, F-L-O-C-K.
No.
Then it's the cameras that this company that put up around the place where we license plate and every kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got a couple of them down there. Okay. And for that to happen, there has to be some local government. The problem isn't having the cameras. The problem is what rules and guidelines and whatever you have for how it's used. For instance, can a police person or somebody else go and follow somebody just because they want to follow somebody? You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
That it's not your personal business where I go or where I don't go. If there's a crime, I can understand that you would go and look at whatever data, and if my thing show up there, it would be looked at with everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have those things, you get stalking and all kind of other craziness going on. Selling your information about where you to go and don't go. Anyhow, we're going live.
Good morning. As the song said, we there. We there. And when I say we, I mean me and Doug Canton. Dougie.
Yes, sir. Good morning, community. We are here. We just there. We here. You know,
We here.
We here.
We here. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm saying Croy. Let's make it clear.
I'm going to rephrase my statement. We here.
I'm saying Croy.
We're here and St. Croy. We're here in Santa Cula.
Okay.
So good morning, Big Sis. Good morning, KJ. Good morning. Christian said, Mid Island. Frederick said, good morning. St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island, wherever you're listening in the United States, Florida, Texas, New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, let me see, Virginia. Oh,
around the world, brother man. We got folks in UK listening in. Okay.
Yeah, around the world.
Kazakhstan listening in, and folks down under listening in. Hey.
Well, later on, I want to talk about I read about a Virginia congressman.
Okay.
Trying to draft a bill to take away our birthright citizenship.
Well,
in the territory.
Yeah, that's there's an article on it in the source. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But before we get to that,
I see later on.
Before we get to that, I got wappa all over my brain today.
Yeah. And for the listening public, as a programming note, we have the governor's ADA office coming in briefly. Idian Utai, she'll be joining us via StreamYard around the 9 o'clock hour for a little bit to talk about the 36th annual ADA celebration. You know, they're doing it via Zoom this year. I guess funding is kind of low, I assume. So they're doing a virtual celebration for the ADA. And if you're not Zoom, if you don't know how to use Zoom, you can call the Association for Independent Living at 340 778 7992 and ask to speak to Miss Kim Jackson, and she will register you to come to the center to watch the ADA celebration in person at the St. Croix Center in Scion Farm. According to the flyer, if you need transportation, let them know. Transportation will be provided.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, that's good. Make sure that everyone can follow what's going on.
Yeah. So, but Eddie will be joining us pretty soon. So when she gets on around 9 a.m. or a little before, because she told me this morning that she only have a half hour because she have to go to a budget hearing.
Hold on.
So yeah.
Only half an hour.
Yeah. Well,
you're lucky to get that.
Well, you know, she have to carry the load because the territorial ADA coordinator is not in the territory. He has to go away for medical
Well,
reasons.
but I understand that. That thing, they're doing what they got to do. I'm just saying, you know, it's kind of like this thing where, you know, when you go to the legislature, it might start on time, it might not start on time, and it might drag out or whatever. That in that context.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Anyhow, let me go ahead and knock this out. First of all, WAPA, if you're gonna have water turn off, why don't you send out an alert? Okay, if there's an accident or some other incident that causes water to get turned off, why don't you send out an alert so that people can know? They have folks coming home looking forward to fixing food and come to turn on some water so they could boil some water, and you know what? Ain't gonna water. And it just might happen that that's when they have no bottled water in the house. So whatever the case may be, I'm just saying. The fact of the matter is a simple alert. Let people know and who is affected. All right? If the water pressure is going to be low, let people know. This don't take no extra money or no new appropriation. You got people there in public relations to put this information out. You got this automatic alert that you could send out to everybody's phone. Hey, come man, come man. Okay, your executive director got enough thing to do without people beating up on him because people come home and want to take a shower before they go to bed or whatever the case may be, and you know what, they're running. Okay.
But you gotta sign up for it.
But I understand that, Gerard. That's not the point.
For the alerts, I thought.
No, I understand that. Did you get the alert?
I stopped listening. I get so much of them alerts, right?
Anyhow.
Especially from St. Thomas and the power going out.
Anyhow, yeah, I understand. That's the next thing about it. But you see, the the reality is, it's an easy way in which they can do a better job. This does that.
I agree.
No resources or anything else. All it needs is a mindset that they are there to provide a service, and that when the customer is inconvenienced, they have to let the customer know in a timely manner so the customer can do other things to mitigate in the meantime. That's it. That's it. Okay, that's number one. That's number one. Okay, folks. They have a notice that came in the mail, and the letterhead is WAPA letterhead, and on the far left it have Capital Projects Group, and it says notice of unknown water service line material. Okay, so they don't know in certain places whether it is lead pipes, copper pipes, air pipes, whatever kind of pipe you got, right? They don't know. So it says here, the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority is providing this notice pursuant to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, lead and copper rule revisions requirements concerning water service line inventories. Okay? Now, for some of these pipes, they have a lead status unknown, quote unquote. And this classification does not mean that lead has been identified in the service line. What it means is that WAPA does not currently have sufficient information to confirm the material composition of the service line. Okay? So that's broke it down to simple. They don't know what kind of pipe in that particular area. So it's called when it comes to lead. Now, because some older service lines may contain lead or galvanized materials previously connected to lead, EPA regulations require VIWAPA to provide customers with information regarding potential lead exposure. I repeat, potential lead exposure, and steps that may help reduce exposure from drinking water. Now, I ain't gonna read this whole thing because it goes here to the second page, and they got more stuff there to read. Okay, but if you haven't gotten one of these, it goes on to talk about identifying service line material. Okay, they're doing a survey, and once the survey is completed, a notification will be sent to all customers with lead, copper, or galvanized water lines. All right, according to the EPA regulations. And it go on to talk about the health effects of lead and steps you can take to reduce potential exposure, meaning your water filter and how to all this other stuff, right? Okay. Now, the immediate thing that came to my mind is these EPA regulations, how long they've been in place? Is it something new, or is it something that we now seeking to get in compliance with because of the liability potential and everything else? I would like to know. I think the consuming public would like to know. Anyhow, I just wanted to share that with you. So lead status unknown classification means we don't know. Okay, so if you're in an area where the pipes have that classification or not, it may behoove you to have some type of water filtering system to make sure that you're not getting lead in your water, number one. And number two, to make sure that whatever your source of water is, that the water don't have any lead or other things that it shouldn't have in. Because I am not going to go out here and certify any particular bottled water brand. Which was interesting. I've seen some surveys about the worst or best water quality, and some of the big brand names apparently ain't got much cred when it comes to those things. Okay, all right. So that's that for WAPA for now. As we close out on this note, okay. Sometimes you could talk too quick. And listening to the current, and I say, it seems like Wapa kind of steady. I turn around, walk off, and come back, and the fan going, ooh, and then come back, ooh, low, and then it come back to second, and I say, oh, God, don't put cold mouth and Wapa like that. Like, I got that kind of power, right? No, if Jerry start talking about Wapa, if, what's his name? What did the fella that call us? No,
Nibs.
no, not Nibs, the other guy. Used to work there also. BMW.
Oh,
Devon. No, you and Devon say something. I know you got the power to put good mouth on Wapa. Anyhow, and away we go with it. Okay. Um, so folks, we got guests coming in as was told for 9 o'clock. We got a couple of things that I need to mention with regards to the community calendar real quick. Okay, like real quick. Of course, today is the 23rd, and you know that the weekend starts with Thursday. So all you Friday worshippers can relax. It's coming, it's here, and the guardians of the weekend got your back. All right. So we got the Health and Wellness Expo that's going on tomorrow here in St. Croix, the 24th. It will be in St. Thomas on the 30th. All right. And they're going to have health awareness, wellness sessions, health screening, health cooking demos, fitness activities, and they're going to have free produce banks. Now, this is going to be on St. Croix at the Caribbean Cinemas, Sunny Isle Shopping Center. Okay. So I'm glad they're doing it. I still have my gripe, my complaint, my whine that sometimes these information, the way that come out, this is stuff that need to be out there for 2-3 weeks before, but somehow the other ain't come across my eyes from 2-3 weeks ago. Um, Better late than never, but hey, it's just one of those things. We defeat our own purposes when we don't ensure that the broadest um, dissemination of this information is done as early as possible. All right. Of course, last week we had in those folks from UVI and the Caribbean Community Theater who were talking about the She Kills Monsters play that's going to be going on at UVI. All right.
And this Saturday, right?
This Saturday. We're going to
If we're going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear me. I say we. Just like we there. I ask if we going.
I guess.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I think it's very creative what they're doing. I think that the community, hey folks, it's going to be at UVI. Okay. It's going to be at UVI and it's going to be outdoors. All right. And it's going to be a great thing. Now they got a cover charge of $10. Don't come in there and climb up on the mound and watch over there and say you're watching the play for free. Okay? Come and make your contribution because it's not contribution for profit. This is contribution to support these type of activities.
Going on.
Huh?
No, go upstairs and watch it.
Upstairs? No. It's outside. So when at UVI, they have these mounds of dirt out there. So that you really can't see the parking lots that are in between there like that. And just saying, don't be cheap and go and tap the mound and try to look over.
Tap the mound.
Donate the $10, man. Donate the $10, okay?
No, they have a pimp,
So anyhow, these folks creative, they say, hey, tickets sold at the door. And I'm saying, they'll say, right? So they're going to put up a door, you got to come through. Good thing. But serious, folks, bring your chairs, bring your blankets, bring your picnics. If you want to bring some cheese and crackers, that's fine. But, take care of your neighbor in the process and make sure I don't, eat too much cheese. Eat your cheese responsibly. Okay?
Bring
Good
your
thing.
wine.
No. This is on the college campus. You can't be encouraging children to indulge, okay?
You're not children.
I beg your pardon. You could stay there with that. I'm still a child. Okay? Whether it's of God or my mother or whatever, I'm still there. Anyhow, moving right along with this here, folks. She kills monsters, and it's UVI summer stage Under the Stars at the St. Croix Albert Sheen campus. It's directed by Denise Blanchett and the guest directors Sophie Dean. Yep, going out and support our students, our UVI this Saturday. Yep, okay. It's going to be from 7 p.m. I know, folks, the sun staying up long and everything else, so forth and so on. But if you don't like driving, get a dedicated driver from your household if you have one. Or of course, there's also our boy here doing a great job with VI Hill. You might do one of them thing there, but don't miss it. Anyhow, now there's going to be a men's health and wellness fair, and the theme is taking charge of our health and our future. And it is being put on by Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity of the Virgin Islands. And that's going to be on Sunday, the 26th, from 11 to 4 p.m. All right. Now, it's bad enough, say, ain't got enough man in church. And now church time is when you're doing this. That's not a criticism. That's not a criticism. It didn't matter another excuse, right?
Well, not only that. Sunday, ain't got no bus running.
That
Like
too.
running.
That too.
So if I want to go now, I gotta pay a hill.
Yep.
So you gotta send me money.
Yep, I hear you.
That's wrong.
But it's 11 to 4. I mean, I just think these are the challenges, you start competing with church time and so forth and so on. But the bottom line is the time for spiritual reflection is any time. So it's not like, last I know that the ears just close down when you want to call out, reach out, extend to seek the divine. All right? But anyhow, the man who want the excuse, they got our there. The thing is if you put a tracker on them to see what party there, it's just like we had the hurricane supplication day.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And who out there supplicating? It was just a day off,
Well, I work with a fellow.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was an Adventist. So, Friday evening he ain't working.
Yeah.
So one day I come in through town. I meet Mister in the evening. By some place he shouldn't have been.
Oh Lord, you gotta bust out the man.
No. I didn't care. Yeah, if I bust you out, I didn't care where he was after me. But I was like, dude, what are you doing out there? He started. I said, you ain't Adventist? Put on a big grin. I said, oh, only when you want to go to walk. Right?
That is not fair, Gerard.
I mean,
That is not fair. You should have encouraged him, man. All it was is he backslide, and he just needs some encouragement from a righteous brother like yourself, okay, to get back on the high road and the right track.
I didn't have my encouragement tool with me.
You see how you be? You see how you be? Gerard,
if I had it in my truck,
you didn't need that tool.
Yes, was. If I had it on the truck that day, he would have gone home and he'd have been to church the next morning.
It's a reason why the good book said, "Who have ears, let them hear."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And at least with the spoken word, there's a chance you could hear. You have to hear. Now, folks, And as we say that, I think back into days with my father and other people back in the day. When somebody gets some blows, say, make it here. I don't know. I don't know. I just my legs and hearing now. Okay.
Well,
Make it here.
if I had my encouragement tool that night, they hear here.
Yeah,
Hear
here.
and hear
Okay.
well.
We got it look like we got a caller here on line two. Let me see if we're gonna get a heel up here to take it up. Okay, and I'll see. Well, let's go ahead and see who we got here. Good morning, WSTX.
Hello.
Good morning, WSTX.
Yeah, good morning. I hear you trying to force a random act of kindness out of Gerry.
Kindness could go a long, long way, you know, to make it
He
here.
was telling me not to use my encouragement tool.
So, well, let me tell you something about that encouragement too. I don't know if you guys know where Sebastian and the waterfront used to be. At the waterfront end of Raditz Garden.
Mhm.
There's taxi drivers there, waiting on fare and so forth, so on. And a cousin of mine, he used to call him Coachy. He was a palwood. He was a taxi man. He used to drive truck and things for public works. A street guy. I think he was in the Navy. He, a rough fella. So he brought some I was going to call him name, we used to call him back in the day, but let's just say sailors. And he brought them there, he dropped them off, and he tell them what the fare is. And one of them believed he ruler than rude boy. I mean, paying, effing black this, nothing. The coach, he said, okay. Did he get out the car? He went by the trunk of the car, or station wagon, and he take out the Akakainas. Let me tell you, when he lashed that white sailor, two of them across his back, he run across the street, jumping over cars and end up in the water. And he's still begging for water. You want more water? Why got in the sea with it? So he reach up his hand for somebody, pull him up. Oh, she let him another one cross his back. He said, yo, that mother said, yo, there's 100, keep the change. That's all I'm black.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
tools of encouragement.
Let me tell you something. Just now you're gonna get a cold case. That's a cold case there. Just now you're gonna get reopened and relitigated because that is there's acts of cruelty. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Nibs, you think that bad?
Okay.
That one is a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he had a Caucasian fella when Don Christian said,
Yeah.
and he was making trouble,
Mm.
and then boy soak his skin with that.
And it wasn't a good trouble conversation. Or
Right.
good trouble.
He went looking trouble, and then boy give some of that tool. He went to the police station, and he said he didn't come to make a complaint, but he wanted to find out what it was he got hit with.
That's all he wanted to know.
He wanted to know what it is he got hit with, because he want one.
Oh Lord, indeed. Anyhow, change subject. Let me move on from that. Okay. I don't want violence in the community.
Yeah,
Even though some said that would help reduce it, but
Yeah, let me say something quickly before I go on. This is on the very serious side. There are some of us that still saying Trump cannot do what he say he going to do, which he don't do. We're taking a big scissors and cutting the pipeline of federal funds for the Housing Finance Authority.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. They know Dougie more than I know. I mean, I've been in federal for so long. I've had audit findings. I had to wiggle my way out of it. Not audit finding that I stole the money. And I'll give just a quick thing quickly. One time, the public housing projects, the eastern end of St. Thomas, those two high rise and all of those, Pavoni housing, all of them, they couldn't get enough water pressure. So I got to the Public Works Commissioner. He decided to build a big tank, a 500 million gallon tank on top of Rappoon Hill, which they were going to with water and fill with water from the suburbs, the water plant, and then gravity feed it down towards the thing. Now Public Works said they had the money, they built the tank, but they do not have the money to pay WAPA $500,000, or no, I think it was $1 million to fill the 500 million gallon tank. So I, with the housing authority in the fast self, knowing that the housing authority got unlimited federal funds, I decide to front the money, not give it to the federal local government. Because there was a memorandum of understanding that it was very clear. It is the responsibility of the local government to get water to the boundaries of public housing projects. But they failed. So nowhere was going to leave them people without paying and get my governor one to win problem. So I fronted the money. So let me tell you, that's some Democratic boy walking under me in housing authority. They take my little ICM sales straight to Washington. And I get a card and a flurry of letters. Did you do that? Did you do that? Did you do that? Yeah, it started the audit finding. But you see, I already had it worked out with Public Works. And they were somehow going to give me a check. They were going to ask Department of Finance to cut a check. Of course, we couldn't wait to go through the regular route. So I took the check down to the Director of Treasury, Mr. Roebuck in the Department of Finance, and he hand-draw the check. And with that, I was able to put it back in the fence account. So by the time I was running around doing it, it was just Gerry, Dougie, you know the financial move more than me. It was just a pass-through. You know, they're not that linger there and the folks are going to be begging them for the money. But yet, it became an audit finding. So I said, I have to say, I know what it is to meddle with the federal funds.
Right.
And I don't understand what it is the Housing Finance Authority don't understand.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, you have to be careful when you call my name or that kind of thing, because some people.
What do you know about them things?
No. I am aware of some of the things that other people have done.
Yeah.
Okay. But they got a lot of things out there that by the time you say you're aware or you know, then they want to say you're a part of it.
Well, that's why they have said that you blame me.
I don't sleep good at night. Okay? I don't sleep at night. Everybody know that. I remember one time, out of intimidation, someone said they were suing me. And the person who saw me, I said, okay, that's fine. Let them sue. Anybody could sue. That don't mean they're going to win. Because they had no basis upon which to win, but it's an intimidation. It was just intimidation. But yeah, so while on that subject, you know, it is an unfortunate and sad situation that we are even having to deal with this right now, because there are important programs that have just been thrown into a big question mark. Programs that involve hiring of youth and also other important jobs that are going to benefit facilitate progress here in these waters now. So I hope that ultimately that this can be resolved in a timely manner, in a way that even if they have to put a CFO type thing going through the funding to make sure that what's supposed to happen is happening in the most timely manner. I don't got no problem with that. I'm just saying that I hope that this doesn't turn into uh, a long-term thing, because it's bad enough we're suffering from since Maria in
Okay then.
context of the amount of money that has been promised. And the federal government is not innocent in all of this either.
Of course, they're very complicit in a way.
Yes, because they're quick to tell you how much money they're giving you, but then make it as hard as possible for you to access it.
Okay then. I know about that.
Okay, in that context. But the one thing that is clear, and I say when you look at the history in the past 4 years, the one thing that is clear is that we have to be more circumspect and vetting in terms of the people that we put in charge of things. Uh, because it seems like that's where the problem starts. And the reality is that in over the years, there are a lot of people who have been advancing in government, but when you look at their credentials or their practical knowledge, there
Uh-huh.
seems to be a void between the position that they hold and the ability to truly execute uh, in the best
Right.
interest of the people's will. And we have to become much more critical and deep diving in terms of making sure that what's getting done. And I have one philosophy, right? You want to give
Uh-huh.
somebody a job, give them a job. But give them a job with the exact understanding that if they don't do the job, they're going. Okay?
Exactly.
And when you
That's
get
what been there for 50 years in the job doing that.
right, but no, but I'm saying this because the reality of politics and running for office is that people through these processes of get commitment made and get jobs. And my thing is, I don't mind giving you a job, but if you ain't doing the job, you're gone. Especially when you got a two-term system, where in the second term, you ain't got to worry about pissing off nobody because you got to run for re-election. Okay, they
Right.
don't have to run for re-election, so you're in a much better position to be able to ensure that whoever want to get tick off, let them get tick off, because what you gonna do to me? I can't run again. You
It
know?
sounds like you're talking about term limit.
No, 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 no. Well, there is term limits in terms of the governorship. There
Oh,
are
okay.
term limits. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So in the second term, especially, that is an opportunity for any governor in terms of legacy
Yeah.
to make sure that what is supposed to happen. And
Yeah.
and
But
that is the
Gerry, you
time
got
you
to,
have.
Doug, you got to remember, the sitting governor said at one part of his mouth, he needs no legacy.
Okay, well, I don't want to go that route. Every governor, as far as I'm concerned, whether they want it or not, gonna get a legacy.
Good.
And what a legacy is gonna be is what they make it. Okay,
Thank
and,
you.
and I am saying that in the context of legacy, the second term is not relaxation. That's when you got buckle down, because
You better believe it.
that's when a lot of people who get job thinking about how they're going to jump to the next administration coming to continue in the job or get something
Yep.
sweeter or whatever the case may be. That's
Yep.
that's fact and reality.
Yep.
All right. So in that context, their interest is not necessarily the governor's interest.
Of course not. It's
so
their own
so
backside.
if if ever there's a time you got a whole lot steering wheel, I will be very circumspect of where you're going to see if you got cow in the road or horse running cross or goat or sheep, you know, for the midnight shepherd then, you know. Oh Lordy me.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, it's very easy.
You,
But
you,
as you say that, a joke comes to my mind. It's a joke. It's just a true thing. And it's in an affluent area of West Palm Beach. Now, they say West Palm Beach got ghettos. I don't see them because I don't live in those areas. But in a more affluent part than I live, they have up a sign, ducks crossing. And you got But if they take a year to get across the street, you got to wait for them to pass. But Gerry, you know, I mean, Dougie too, it's sad because we in the Virgin Islands had more than enough learning to see what has happened with anybody, any government, any administration that does not use federal funds for the purpose as originally intended. So why would we feel that we could get to where we're doing what we want with it?
Well, you know, folks will get caught up in the what you call it, the passion of politics when you're trying to answer that question. And I don't even think you gotta get to politics.
Okay.
All right. In human beings are fallible. So start right there. Okay. And when someone who makes $85,000 feels that somehow getting a kickback of $16,000 is in their best interest, you know, I mean, that's warped thinking, because as it turned out, it didn't work out in their best interest at all. And they're discredited from now till kingdom come. And I'm just throwing out numbers that's not based on any particular story, folks. I'm not throwing stones at anybody. But I'm just saying, okay, your reputation when you look at the cases of where people have been caught with embezzlement schemes in government, or being in the bank and accessing other people's money or rediverting people's money, whatever, once they are exposed, they're ruined for life.
Oh, of course.
You know, so you want to say that this rum really strong, you know, or is something about it that has taken a crack like or effect or opioid type effect, you know. I don't know what it is, but I know that it is. And this is why you don't turn nobody loose without supervision, which unfortunately in these Virgin Islands, we have this tendency to give these people unsupervised 2-year run.
Yeah.
And then want to say, throw them all out, throw them all out. I mean, that's a masochistic way of behaving.
No, not throw them out.
Because we fail to realize
Not throw
that
them out.
we are their bosses and not the other way around.
Not throw them out. Fling them out.
Yeah, but they say that the problem is you could fling them out how you want to. They don't do, you know, you could say, you think I forget what you do to me the past 2 years? You think I forget?
Yeah,
I mean, you could sing it how you want to, but they get a 2-year run, right?
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Like
But you see,
I always say,
really, I know it come a little jokey fight in a way. Sometimes you have to chuckle, but I assure you as well as myself and all listeners know that this is not nothing a jokey, nothing to play with. And the Virgin Islands seemingly at this point in time already been at its lowest economic rung on the ladder. Billions of dollars for 8 years, still unspent, and still begging for more.
Yeah.
But
Already.
that's why Trump taking money. Anyway, that's why I just say, right, Mr. Nibs?
Yeah.
That's why I just say, the people of the Virgin Islands need to understand that we, the people, are the CEOs of the government.
Of course we are.
We need to hire and fire at will.
Yeah.
When you go to do a job and you don't perform, they will suspend you and they will lay you off, they will fire you, right?
Yeah.
So why is it we vote for these people and continue to vote them back in, come 2 years later, and they ain't doing nothing? Get rid of them and put somebody else in there to see what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah.
Fling them
You're
out.
right. You're right. But I don't know, we really got to understand what it is we're doing. Because I have, some of them I sound in a dark side and critical and what's not, but I have been in countries where They do not wait until no next election to put you out. They run you out. A government running down the street with fire behind whose tail. I got.
I wish the people could come like that over here.
Yeah,
You see how they run the Puerto Rico governor out of office?
yeah, okay then.
They should have done run this one out long time.
Thank you.
But anyway,
I got.
Well,
all right.
you know,
Okay.
it's from an emotional perspective, it's okay to say that, but it you see, you know,
I'm being emotional.
I'm not talking about you.
No.
It's bigger than you. We're talking about a pattern, a behavioral pattern here in these Virgin Islands.
I have
And I use the word emotional because it is at the moment and then it'll wear off.
I believe that we're masochists.
Well, you can be both. Okay? You can be both. Because if you're in a pattern and you recognize the pattern and you keep repeating the pattern, or if you're in a pattern that you cannot recognize, then you probably need counseling and therapy. Okay? And that's not to make joke or fun. That's being real. All right? I mean, because it's like, oh honey, I didn't mean to do that. Please forgive me. And she bringing me flowers and thing. Okay, I putting on makeup and wearing shades and whatever. And like I supposed to forget what she did me last night. Okay, you know, and I'm saying that that not being funny, being real, we know that people go through those type of things, and for various psychological reasons,
Mm-hmm.
mental health reasons, or whatever, you keep doing the same thing over and over, and have this undying hope, hope springs eternal, that it's gonna be different, it's going to change, right? And in fact, we are right where we started out from. The collective energy of the people is not being harnessed. The people who are the hirers and the firers in their mind have not put together and accepted the responsibility and taken an initiative of collectively acting. That's where the power is.
Mm-hmm.
You go in the office to complain somebody and they kick you out. But the collective power is where the people have the opportunity to make things happen. So, folks out there, how you're going to collectively do something? Well, for sure, it ain't by sending Coach Foy out there to stand up by himself. All right? Poor Coach Foy. Why I do that to you? Raise the man expectation just like son. I'll leave you out there. In the sun, in the rain, whatever. And then I want to make fun of Coach Foy because he out there doing this and he nothing happen, nothing change. You're laughing at yourself or making fun of yourself. Because when somebody is trying to get something done that is going to ultimately benefit you, and you could somehow laugh, ridicule, or not get involved, then it's very much possible that you like it so.
Well,
All right? Anyhow, it's almost 9 o'clock here. Time is flying. Um, Time is flying. I just watch our community, and we see these things happening. There's a lot of good things going on out there. We got a volleyball team that was out there kicking butt. Okay, we got a lot of records in sports coming to these here Virgin Islands, and then of course in terms of other international or national competitions where we're excelling. But, but, and the but, not Bertha's but the but. Okay, we look away from the things that we pass every day. Now, Gerard, when you come into Gallows Bay and you come up to the intersection right here to go by Gallows Bay Hardware, it have two lanes and a separate lane, which means if you come up from the Gallows Bay side, you have a lane where you could make a left turn to go down toward the port. But if you come from the other road, where you come off a Hospital Street and turn down, that brings you straight up to the right side of this intersection.
Mhm.
You have two lanes. You have a left turn lane and you have a straight ahead lane. Okay, and all of this is at a four-way intersection. Gerard, for years, the intersection ain't marked. So people who want to go straight, pulling up in the left lane to go straight. Okay? Now, you pull up alongside them because you going straight now. Big argument want to buck out and all kind of stupidness. Think about it. Yeah, it's that time. Okay. All right. Well, it's that
Okay.
time we got to do what we got to
Marshall
do
is
to
in,
take care
so,
of
yeah.
our
And your next people are here.
folks.
Top of the hour, so we're gonna
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
take a break. We gotta keep the lights on, the mics on, internet on, everything on. So you gotta, let you know who make this possible.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay. So we'll be back after these messages.
Stand up for the law. Stand up for decency. Stand up for compassion. Stand up for respect. Stand up for your community.
Good morning, good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Stand up for humanity. WSTX FM 100, the soul of the Caribbean. News Talk for the Virgin Islands, AM 970 WSTX.
When you need tires for your car, for your SUV or your trailer, we have every brand in every size. Lowest prices in the Virgin Islands. At Tire Kingdom, we have the largest selection. Number one on the island, that is Tire Kingdom. We have this time, the best service that will make you smile. Every tire you need, we
Hey, I have your guest back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay, great. Mr. Henley said he would be call in for a little bit too.
Okay. Okay. We're running commercials now, and when we finish the commercials, then we'll go back on air and bring you.
Okay. How much seconds left?
Right now.
And the Virgin
Okay.
When you're ready, I know
Hey,
you
dancing in the chair.
I know you like the song. And the phone's ringing too.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
that's probably
Ready? Here we go.
I just sent it. Good morning, good morning. We are back and we have the ADA office online in the studio. We got Mr. Henley on the phone, and we have the wonderful Idian Utai online.
Yes.
Good
Yes,
morning,
yes.
good morning, people. We are
Morning.
here to talk to us about the ADA celebration.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for having us, gentlemen.
Good to have you here.
It's really a pleasure being here to share with you and your audience this great event that we have coming up on the 27th. So I'm Julian Henley, I'm the ADA coordinator.
And I am Eddie Diong Utibe. Many call me Eddie. And I'm a special assistant here at the Office of the Governor, and I work with Mr. Henley in his office.
Fantastic. Well, the floor is yours. We know we have this celebration coming up, and you can definitely update the community and what we have planned and what the things going to go on.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yes, as we've been hearing lately about ADA month, we just want to continue to invite everyone to register. One of the beauties of being virtual is you don't even have to be in the Virgin Islands to participate this time around. Um, and the event again is this Monday coming, July 27th, and it starts at 1 p.m. We will have ASL interpretation, and we're asking people to register by going to www.vi.gov/A as in Americans, D as in disabilities, and A as in act. So www.vi.gov/ADA. And if you are not tech savvy, we're asking that you call in to 340-778-7992. And there they will be able to help you to get registered. And you can actually come in person if you're not able to join online. On St. Thomas, you can join from by coming to UVI Innovation Center. And on St. Croix, you can join by visiting the VI Association for Independent Living. There is limited seating available in each district, so we ask that you register sooner than later. And also, if you want to come in, but you don't have a way to come in, we're asking you have to register even sooner than later, more because we need to be able to know how to accommodate you. We want to be able to do some complimentary transportation for those people who need it. And the other number that you can call if you don't get through on the first number is my number. That's 340-473-1848. The theme this year for the ADA is the world works better with us, which we know that is a fact. People who have disabilities, they're not like just disabled, we are, because I have a disability myself, we're differently abled, and we love to focus on our strengths and our talents. So this virtual event you can join from anywhere as we celebrate 36 years of advancing accessibility, opportunity, and inclusion in our U.S. Virgin Islands. We're also going to have, for members of the vulnerable population, an opportunity to dialogue with our disaster preparedness experts as we all, and we will also go through some of the accomplishments that we've had since the ADA was passed. It was passed July 26th. That will be Sunday. That actually is the day that the law was signed back in 1990. And the ADA is a landmark civil rights law that does two things. It prohibits discrimination, and it also promotes equal opportunity for people with disabilities. So we know we've made a lot of progress since 1990, but the work continues. As we know, the ADA is about opportunity, participation, independence, and dignity. And a disability could affect anyone at any stage of life. So accessibility doesn't just benefit people with disabilities, but it benefits everyone realistically. So it's something that we want to have everyone come out to. This event is not just for people with disabilities, it's for everyone. The public can definitely get involved, and we encourage that. We advocate for inclusion, that everyone learn about disability rights, and support these accessible events so that we know how to be able to help make a difference. And we ask the questions. It's not about the questions it's asked. You asking respectful questions, and we're doing what we can with the knowledge that we gain to be able to remove barriers wherever it's possible. I'll give a little chance for Mr. Henley to add in.
Yep, and when you look at the barriers and the different things, sometimes we don't see it, or some individuals don't see it as barriers. And the opportunities is for us to start taking an inkling and don't realize this person that really needs that opportunity to get out and park and freely be able to traverse like everyone else. So it is important for us to, one, come and celebrate. Whether you have a person in your life, you could be a caregiver, you could have been in the past a caregiver. Just to give some support, because there's a lot of individuals that's there that really appreciate seeing or knowing that others in the territory really want to see a difference. And that's something for us that we have not measured. Sometimes we don't realize all that we have improved on,
Right.
but there's still so much to be done. So this is not where time it's time to slow down, and no, this is time for us to really collaborate. If you have an interest, reach out to us. Reach out and see if there's an avenue that you can be involved with in our community. So as we celebrate 36 years, we really want to even reflect back on some of the things that was in place that really affected whether it's us or others, and to see sometimes because there's so much has been done, sometimes we don't have a measuring stick for it, because at the end of the day, these are uphill motions, and we have Eddie that has been doing an amazing job.
You have. I have a great teacher. I love to tell him that. I wouldn't be where I was without Mr. Henley. We have the best ADA coordinator that we've ever had. So we're grateful for that. And I'm grateful to be under his wing. Sorry, I had to interject and just let them know.
Mr. Henry, you got a fan here, my son. You're not just a worker. You got a fan, okay? So whatever you're doing, you keep it up.
Yes.
And I wouldn't want to point out Mr. Evelyn's disability, but he could tell you, I treat him the same way I treat anyone else. I asked him to send emails. I asked him, oh yeah, you sent an email last week. You could, and I don't look at anything with any shortcomings with him. I totally, totally, totally appreciate him, and he knows that. I call him and we talk and dialogue just like any other person that I would, because I want to give this gentleman the respect and knowing that he's doing an amazing job.
Yes, he is. Yes, he surely is.
Thank you.
While we're on the topic of the event, I did want to also share for we were talking about getting involved, and whether you're a member of a disability directly or you're a member of the disability community directly, excuse me, or if you are indirectly impacted by it. And we just want to show appreciation. Like Mr. Henley said, there's lots of work to still be done. We know that. And just in general, when we come to the Virgin Islands, we're always kind of one step behind the national progress of things, but we do want to just take a moment and appreciate what has been done. And one of the ways that we're inviting people to do that, from wherever they are, is through a 30 to 60-minute appreciation video that you can submit. You can do all of this by going to the same registration website that I shared, the www.vi.gov/ADA. I'm emphasizing the www part because for some reason, when you don't type that in, sometimes it gives you an error on going on there. So if you're getting an error when you just type in vi.gov/ADA, try www. But on that same web page, when you scroll down, you'll be able to submit an appreciation video of just how the ADA has impacted you, whether directly or indirectly. You could do for 30 to 60 seconds just showing your appreciation or sharing your story, whether it's your story or somebody else's story that you know, just in appreciation of this important law that has changed the life for many people. So I just want to share that's the one way you can get involved. You can submit those videos. We're asking for them to be submitted as soon as possible. We're kind of like on an extended deadline right now, but we want to be able to show those videos at our event, and even afterwards to like try to post it online. So you are given consent to that when you do submit your video, but you can definitely do that by visiting the registration webpage. So we encourage everyone to participate in that short little appreciation video. Thank you.
So that means I could do a 30-second video and submit it to.
For you, Mr. Evelyn, you could do 3 minutes.
2 minutes.
Don't go match up the people in camera now.
I ain't you know.
Oh, man.
Good job.
And you know that is from her heart, because the efforts that's happening, although this is an event that's being shared from our office, there's so many other areas and volunteer services that's in the territory that provides and that supports and works with all of us as one unit to make events like this come through. And so we want
Yes.
to reach out to your disability leadership, bike trans, whatever it is.
Right.
And
Miss
you could tell them you appreciate one of the things, some of the things that have improved. Because I always think back in the 50s, there was no paratransit or regular route buses with lifts. I always wonder how people live. How do you get to the airport? How do you go to work? And
right.
some things like that. It seems like, yeah, but the one thing that Eddie and I and others believe in, we have, as people, we have to keep pushing the envelope.
Correct.
We can't go for, okay, yeah, everything is good. No, we could always find ways to make things better. So complaining sometimes is a good thing, because it opens up eyes to see things that we as professionals don't see.
Right. Definitely.
We're doing and all that this territory has done to make life better for persons with disabilities.
Well, I do appreciate Bytran and the new system that they have now, where they call you, to let you know the bus will be here in like 15 minutes. They call you the night before and let you know what your next day itinerary entails, stuff like that. I appreciate that, because before you never used to get a call.
Right. Yep. Thank you for mentioning that, Mr. Henley. And to your point, yes, Mr. Evelyn. There. And one thing Mr. Henley said that I want to like just hone in on. A lot of people ask why this is this, why this is that, but like the ADA is a very complaint based as far as change goes. So it is one of those spheres where complaining is a good thing. Like you say, it takes somebody to stand up and say this is an injustice, this is wrong, this needs in order for there to be some form of legal action or correction taking place. So that's something we do want to encourage the community. Like being silent does not help in this case. Actually, complaining is a good thing. And while you guys were talking about appreciation, I want to take the time just to shout out the VI Disability Network partners, which you guys are a part of. The Office of the Territorial ADA Coordinator couldn't do all of this without Disability Rights Center of the Virgin Islands, VIU said, Mr. Evelyn, yep, and the Virgin Islands Association for Independent Living. We also have the Department of Human Services Division of Vocation Rehabilitation Services, and also SRC. The The other two we have with us are the Virgin Islands Deaf and Hard of Hearing Advocates, and we have a great partnership with Vitima as well as Vitran. So we shout out our those agencies. The first set are a core part, and we this coalition that we've put together during the Brian Roach administration, we call ourselves the VI Disability Network Partners. It takes partnership, and there are others that join in here and there that we partner with. We also want to just appreciate. There's the AARP, there's the American Red Cross, and other Department of Health divisions. That join in, and there, like Mr. Henley said, there's many others. It takes this partnership, and we just want to appreciate all of those relationships that we have with these agencies in the territory.
Thank you for that. Anything else you would like to add, Mr. Henley? You still there?
Is he still there?
Oh, maybe he had to turn off on phone. The line is still here. But anyway, okay, yes, he's still here. He's still here. Okay. Well, in the process, just if you could do a recap as to what is happening when and how the public can participate, because that's the number one thing is the public participation.
Right. Okay, so again, this is happening on Monday, July 27th, 2026, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The ADA 36th anniversary celebration is going to be virtual, part in person. And so, in order to get involved, we ask that you register by visiting www.vi.gov/ADA or by calling 778-7992. And especially if you want to come in person, they'll be able to navigate you in that way and get you down if you need any transportation to get to the event. There's going to be ASL interpretation provided as well for those who are deaf or hard of hearing. The UVI Innovation Center, if you're coming in person, is right next to the West Police Precinct on St. Thomas. And on St. Croix, the Association for Independent Living is at Zion Farm Shopping Center behind MoneyGram. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Told me on.
Let, let,
But that's
let
what
me
it say.
let me assist you there. It's behind MoneyGram and also between MoneyGram and the Falcon gas station.
There you go. There you go.
So there's
Thank
that
you for that.
alleyway there between there. You will see the Center for Independent Living.
Yes, thank you for that. And again, also at the www.vi.gov/ADA, when you scroll down, you can definitely submit a quick video of appreciation for the Americans with Disabilities Act and how it has impacted your life in any way, or just sharing what it means to you. So we invite you to do that as well and submit that as soon as possible so that we can be able to get it up at the ceremony and just bask in appreciation for how far we've come. To just focus on the progress that has been made just for a moment before we continue pushing for more. And so as we celebrate 36 years of the Americans with Disability Act, we want to remember that inclusion is not just about removing barriers. It's about creating opportunities. And when every Virgin Islander can participate fully, then our communities are stronger. And that's how the world truly works better with us. That's all from me.
And let me just add to that, Eddie, that the website is actually accessible to someone who is visually impaired.
We praise God for that.
So,
Thank you.
I went on and I signed up. I got my link already. So the website is accessible. So if you're worried about being visually impaired and you can use your phone to go online, get on the website, it's accessible to you. Okay?
And thank you for allowing us to share with your audience.
Thank you so much.
The individuals of the
You're welcome.
Virgin Islands and abroad that that it's good for us to celebrate and be part of the 27th of July, and we do appreciate this station for giving us the opportunity to share this information. Thank you, and Eddie, any closing remarks?
Thank you so much. Yes, we hope to see everyone on there or in person this Monday. And remember, it's not just Monday, it's the whole month that we're celebrating the ADA. So thank you for everyone's participation. And again, Mr. Evelyn, thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you, Mr. Henley, for all that you do as well.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a wonderful day and
Have a
productive.
wonderful day,
All
and
right.
I hope they don't give you too much of a hard time in not hearing.
We're praying so. Thank you so much.
She's gonna do great. Definitely, I know she's gonna do amazing. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be listening in
I
later.
gotta run.
Okay. Till next time.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
You're welcome. Our doors is always open, so don't be a stranger.
Oh, my.
All right. Good thing. Okay. That's our virtual. Okay. Good thing. So, let's see here now.
Okay, you gotta hang up, Eddie. You still there?
If you get, okay, that'll do for now. But you could send our text. But anyhow, so here we are, and I'm very thankful that we have the
Oh,
ADA
my.
okay, okay, because it has really opened doors for lots of people who before were treated as less than full citizens, less than full persons. And the ADA has made it very, very possible for us to, okay, for us to be able to, let me get that off of there. Okay. Okay. All right, there, okay. To get to the point where we are today, and we see challenges coming down the road here in terms of just plain insensitivity and don't care attitudes. And you look at what's happening up in Washington, persons with a disability, where people have basically made the sacrifice to have them at home and take care of them and so forth and so on, and the benefits that this person with a disability get have to defray the cost. Well, now they're making it such that that's no longer going to be available, and you want to know, what are these people thinking about? Seriously, what are you trying? Are you interested in creating more economic pressure on the people who are trying to do the right thing and be part of the safety net that makes us a better country?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're thinking about, but
They just plain out evil.
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we come back to the issue of collective community action, because the sheer numbers of the people that they're going to be impacting, if they collectively join together and make their voice heard, that they would be moving quick to remove any such provisions from federal legislation. it just, I don't know. You want people to vote for you, but at the same time, you turn around to do the most you can to hurt those very same people you want to vote for you.
You see, people that vote for them is without him.
But I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. This is the masochistic side of it
And
and the sadistic side of it.
ironically, right? The ADA was signed into law by George H. Bush. George Bush.
Yeah, but
You
I mean,
know,
but what's
in
the significance?
1990,
But what's the significance of that to you? Tell
he
me.
was a Republican.
No,
He
no.
signed
This
a civil rights legislation into law.
no.
Right?
Wait. I don't like that way of portraying it at all. Okay, Republicans are human too, and they don't have people in their family who have disabilities. Okay, you see.
Yeah, but these new Republicans are like they ain't got no.
Oh, well, you talk about the new Republicans.
These
I
guys
just wanted to say that George W. Bush, former president,
just it.
is human and
W was
has
the son.
empathy and that. But see, the focus is the thing, not the identity of the individual. Trying to stay focused
I know,
on the
but
thing. All I'm saying is this:
Mhm.
Republicans are human too. All right,
Mhm.
and saying this at a time when things that are beneficial to us are derailed or distracted from by what kind of divisionary stratification that makes us weaker.
Mhm.
The fact of the matter right now, whether it's healthcare, ADA, or whatever, these labels don't do anything for you if you are the one who are being denied the benefit of your government services. This is what we got to wake up and say when the current administration says that we're going to not send these funds to California, let's say. The fact of the matter is independents, Democrats, Republicans, and otherwise atheists, political atheists. Everybody suffers.
Mhm.
Everybody suffers. And that is the context in which I'm saying here. You had Cheney. We know that LGBTQ and everything else and so forth and so on, and the man had strong opinions until his daughter came out, and you realize all of a sudden he's human and he got a child. Okay, and I'm saying that not to throw any stones there. I'm just saying that sometimes people go around with these ideas and being zealots until they come home to them. And this is what it's really going to take. The reality is the cutbacks in healthcare and education funding and everything, the people that is going to hurt the most reside in or the states that have the most to lose are what they are calling red states. But they could call it red all they want to because black, white, pink, and green, everybody live there, and everybody gonna feel the pain. So the fact that they could walk this blammy and people to say Democrats, Republicans, and whatever, the fact that pain is pain. I never see Republican or Democratic pain. When I'm feeling the pain, my foot hurting me, you don't say it's a Democrat making it hurt, or Republican making it hurt. It's pain. And so the more we get caught up and stratified, into all of these different little groups, the more we lose focus in terms of, well, what is the end result? The end result is that everybody is going to be adversely impacted. Okay? Now, change gears here a little bit on that. There are things that, okay, let me use AI as an example. Okay. You remember when computers were starting to become more prolific in government. I remember when it was starting to happen here in these Virgin Islands. And one of the things people say, oh, we don't want no computers in government because people can be there on the computer and they ain't gonna do no work. Well, the fact of the matter is they've been able to do a whole lot more work because of the computerization. And in less time, which means that overall productivity is possible for productivity to go up.
Sure.
So in that context, right? Okay. You had the emotional response to computers, the ignorant response to computers, and now you have the reality. So now comes AI. And the fact of the matter is, AI is only as good as the data that it has to work on. If you were to take the data that was available in the year 2000 and feed it into a computer and says, cure cancer, tell the computer to cure cancer. Oh, you know that ain't gonna work. Because between 2000 and 2026, so much more has happened where research was done, data was collected, and that's new data now that the computer, which AI is just a glorified computer in that sense, a supercomputer, whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is data is what drives the ability of computers to be able to produce benefits to human beings. Well, in the last 2 years, we cutting back data in research and science, research and health, research and agriculture, research. If it's research, they're cutting it back. It gets so stupid that the research and information that told them how to deal with a screw fly, because it dealt with the mating habits of these flies, and somebody saying, what the shit are these people doing studying fly? So now the price of beef going up because the screw flies are there messing up the beef and causing cattle to have to be culled from the, so there's less beef, price going up. All because somebody in their ignorance, I call it ignorance because they didn't know any better, okay, went and cut this program. And there are lots of other programs that are being cut that where research is actually coming back to benefit. So they're building these big data centers. Imagine if you had 1,000 cars and no gas. You'd have 1,000 cars going nowhere fast. So if you have all of these big data centers, but you're cutting back on research or killing research necessary to give the data to make these things. It's almost like there's this hype that's going on over AI and data centers that people got stupidity. So now, who's doing research? Europe ain't cutting back on their research. China ain't cutting back on their research. China has now come out with some AI engines that giving Americans pause as to wait. No, we thought we were ahead. How does it happen?
Very simple.
Very simple. Okay, when you get arrogant like that just because it's made in America, the data center is made in America. If the data for the data center isn't in America, who controls the data? Okay, and who's to say that America gonna get their data even as part of the process? You follow where I'm going? So now, let's say that fossil fuel has a limit in terms of we have enough fossil fuel for the next 1,000 years. What do we rely on after the 1,000 years? If you're cutting back on research in anything as to sustainability and energy, you're basically saying that I'm going to date the United States as a superpower to be able to be a superpower up to 1,000 years from now, and then let the chips fall within me. Basically, makes absolutely no sense. When we were making um, solar panels cheaper than any place else, and somebody made the decision that we ain't interested in that, that. Okay, China jump on it, and no, the cheapest solar panels coming from China. They're making the money, and not only that, when the war broke out, they have so heavily invested in alternative energy that they were able to mitigate a lot of the negative impact of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Meanwhile, we got gas $4, $5, $6 a gallon, diesel $5, $6, $7 a gallon going on over here.
Yeah.
So who we hurting? Who we hurting? The question in my mind, what are they thinking? What's the plan? Because you gotta have a plan. You can build all these big data centers and then have stagnant data upon which somehow you're gonna make a more powerful nation. That don't make no sense. Okay? But until the people collectively says, hey, show me the sense. We're following the money. So if you're going to put all this money into something that does nothing, wait a minute. We need to stop this before we get too far down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so I don't mean to get too deep into the technology side of things, but this is something that's going to have important ramifications down the road. I want to see how the farms are going to deal with getting labor to process these vegetables and other foods that Americans in general say they're not interested in that kind of work. Because ultimately, that impacts the cost of food in your store and getting it to your table. And last I see, we cutting the taxes for the super rich, but we ain't doing nothing to subsidize even the super rich farms to say that they could somehow overcome this. And they can't overcome it with money. That's the interesting thing. But they can't overcome it with money. Something has
the latest thing with the farms, though, they can't even afford the fertilizer to do their crops.
Well, the war drove that up.
Yeah. So they probably wouldn't even have no crops to
Well, we used to have a open Strait of Hormuz, but who went and shut it down?
The president. I was going to say something else, but I
all right
myself.
Now, stay on the high road. Stay on the high road.
Catch myself.
Okay, but as you say that now, we come back around to the cognitive dissonance. Folks, when you hear this term cognitive dissonance, you have a cliff there, and if you jump over the cliff, you have one part of the brain saying you're going to fly, and another part of the brain saying you're going to go down the cliff and you're going dead. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, which side you're going to listen to? So, if we have the best economy ever, gas going up, food going up, can't afford a house, can't afford a car, and all these things going on. Healthcare is less available. You got healthcare deserts, you got food deserts. You have all of these realities in your face. But then you're going to turn around and say, this is the best economy ever. I trust this leadership with the direction of the economy. You have the port of the Strait of Hormuz was open. Now it's closed as a result of waging war. And the person who said they ain't gonna never get engaged in forever wars and all this other stupidness. All right. It's there contradictory. You have the reality, you have the alternate reality, and you have your brain to be able to make sense out of nonsense, hopefully. So no, from my perspective, I'm just watching this stuff because you could impact what you could impact,
Mhm.
Okay.
You realize that twice, two separate occasions from two separate presidents, this man was given an economy that was on the rise. Obama gave him a good economy. Joe Biden gave him a good economy. And he drive both of them into the ground.
Well, you know, as you say that now, I do believe that he good at mashing up things. Okay,
Yeah, he good
destroying
at,
things.
he's a good
I,
demolition.
I would agree with you on that.
He's a good demolition technician.
Historically, the Republican regimes have been credited for destroying economies, and whether it's Clinton or Obama, let's say, coming to the rescue because Clinton left us with a surplus. All right. And then the other folks came, we went all the way down to having the housing bubble and everything, mash up everything. So when it came to Obama, it was in tatters,
Mm-hmm.
all right, to bring it back. And I'm saying this, the facts, the information is out there. This is not Democrat versus Republican, whatever. This is statistical facts. When folks saying, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? You don't hear them saying that now.
No.
Because basically we're going to spend, we go into a war and we're going to print more money and spend the money. That's it. That's it. All right? We're going to engage in no bid contracts. So we don't care how overly expensive it is. We just going to do it because then it's our buddies and we're going to get them a contract. No. Away from the politics now. Let's move away from the politics and for a second here in terms of how things work or don't work. See, this is where I try to especially stay away from the politics because they try to identify certain things with Republicans and certain things with Democrats and whatever. And I'll look at FEMA. FEMA is a circus of hangers-on where every time there is an emergency, there's certain business interests that move in that way to get the business. You remember when they had planned to burn all of the bush and everything else and that waste from Maria time?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know that burning is no way it was not going to put particulates up into the air, and the place where they were doing it from was in the middle of the island.
Right.
And in fact, what we ended up doing, in addition to complaining about the mere fact that this just isn't the way to go, what we ended up doing was shredding all that stuff, mulching it down, and making it otherwise available for redistribution, use, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is that they had vendors already set up to come and bring their equipment in here to do the incineration of this stuff.
Yeah, with the air curtain and everything, filters and everything.
Whatever
Listen.
they want to talk about. The fact of the matter is, their interest was an economic interest, not the interest of our recovery.
Right.
Okay. Now, that has been going on for ages, not Republican or Democrat. The fact that the so-called military-industrial complex would pay $100 for a hammer that you and I go into the store and we ain't paying no $100 for that. We'll pay $100 for a hammer, right? It's a system that you have all these different levels of suppliers and contractors and everything else, and everybody got to get paid. All right? And how you're going to dismantle that is the question. And taking steps to dismantle it is the things in which presidents are going alive and come out unalive. All right? I'm just saying. You gotta watch who you're touching. You gotta watch who you're touching and be prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, but I'll bring it home. I'll bring it home. When WAPA hired Joseph Thomas for XYZ years, Joseph Thomas was allowed to get all the money he was owed and have a non-disclosure um, uh, put on that relationship and that agreement where he basically left here. If he was supposed to be here for 3 years, he get 3 years worth of pay and leave. And we carried on like we got what we want. Okay, we got what we no. But why did it happen? Because Joseph Thomas was touching something called efficiency, which was going to impact people with overtime. And you have folks who are depending on overtime to be able to live the life they live in.
Right.
And they were able to galvanize those forces to get rid of a CEO, as we call it, getting rid of it. We did him a favor. Because if you will pay somebody for 3 years, all the salary that they were going to get for 3 years, and then you can't even turn around and say anything bad about them without opening up yourself to liability issues in ways that's crazy. Who benefited? Not the people. Because we had to get a new CEO, so we paying twice. Okay. Anyhow, I'm saying these things, folks. When people get worked up and to doing something, whether it's even as far back as Fireburn, tell me we ain't have unfair labor practices since Fireburn. Okay. Anyhow,
Time is going there.
yeah, time is going. Now it's about 9 minutes before the hour, and we've got to get out of here on the hour in a timely manner because all of us got things to do, including you folks out there listening.
So with that being said, I'm gonna do my random act.
Only a random act?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my random act.
Only a random act?
Only a random act.
Oh, yeah. I don't continue to work on you, brother. I don't continue to work on you. So you go ahead and do your random act. But I'm sure that somewhere I'm gonna find some kindness in it. So go.
I don't do a random act. I would like to remind the public that under UVI, VIU said has the I Can Connect program. I Can Connect program is a program that if you or your loved one have considerable hearing and vision loss, the I Can Connect program is for you. The I Can Connect program, better known as the Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program, is funded under the FCC. Hopefully, our present, what you call it, president don't get wind of that to cut that funding. That he want to cut everything else. So you can get a free iPhone, iPad, or computer to facilitate distance communication between you and your loved ones. To learn more about this program, you can visit icanconnect.org. That's icanconnect.org, or give us a call at 340-692-4267. VIUSIT also offers a low-interest loan program. You know, if you need hearing aids, accessible equipment, whatever you may need to make your house accessible. You know, we have a low-interest loan program that you can come apply and get a loan. You can find out more about that loan program. Give us a call at 340-692-4267. VIUSIT also has the equipment distribution program. If you need a wheelchair, walker, or cane, you can borrow a cane, wheelchair, or walker for 30 days or more. Just come in, sign for it, and it's yours to hold on to until you get yours from your insurance. VIU said, working for you. And we have a call on line 2. Let's go to the call. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Okay. All right. So it appears that they're not there.
Okay.
So we'll have to call back.
It's going to hold on. Or the call
So
drop?
just a quick recap. I don't know that it dropped. I plugged it on. So anyhow,
Maybe they was on mute.
I don't know how, but
No, they could mute their phone.
oh yeah. Well, I'm just saying we're not here to wait for them. They need to take care of that.
Caller, give us a call back.
Recap here on the community calendar, reminding you that there's a health and wellness expo going on tomorrow on St. Croix at the Caribbean Cinemas, and the government is giving 4 hours of administrative leave, not just carte blanche. You know, if you're going to participate, then that's available to you because health is wealth. And it's in the government's own interest that you take advantage of these things. They're going to have wellness sessions, health screening. We're going to have cooking demos with celebrity chefs, fitness activities, and free produce bags and raffle prizes. So tomorrow at Caribbean Cinemas and then in St. Thomas on the 30th of July. Okay. We've got the play going on at UVI this Saturday, folks.
She kills monsters.
She kills monsters. Dungeons and Dragons. Let's go out and support our UVI students in this play. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be fun. And it's funded in part by the Virgin Islands Council on Arts and the National Endowment for the Arts. And, definitely blessings to all who are out there making a contribution and volunteering to make this happen. All right. And then we have the Men's Health and Wellness Fair coming up on this Sunday, July 26th. And Phi Beta Sigma is doing this. And it's going to be at the University of the Virgin Islands campus, I believe in the Great Hall. But yeah, let me say specifically. Okay. So,
we never.
Okay, so anyhow, I know who that was, but anyhow, that's neither here nor there. Yes. Anyhow, so we got those are the main things. We've got one more that didn't get a chance to get in. We've got the VI Breast Cancer Project in partnership with DPNR and the Division of Libraries is having a demonstration, The Art of Making Madras Head Tie, and is going to be led by Bradley Christian, and that's at Fort Frederick Museum in Frederickstead. That's Wednesday, August 5th. That's a little bit down the road there, but you know from now, so you can mark your calendar and mark it up as we go.
Mark your
All
calendar.
right. And it's going to be open to the first 10 registered cancer survivors and open to 10 registered advocates, friends, and family for observation only. All right. Refreshments will be served. Make sure that you're going to stay hydrated through this whole project and undistracted from this art form that you're witnessing and hopefully learning how to do. All right. Okay, so it's now about 1 minute till the hour, and I want to encourage everyone to do a random act of kindness. Yes. If you're feeling kind of bored, do some premeditated acts of kindness because love's in need of love today. Definitely make your contribution. All right.
It is 10 a.m. and if you're feeling like Gerry, just do a random act. Don't worry about it. They might like it, they might not.
All right, all right.
You know, you say you gotta work on me, but
All
do a
right.
random act. So It is
So,
10 a.m. We have actually reached the end of our show. Now we need to have a longer show, yeah.
well, we don't have a fat lady in here, and I don't think you and I qualify in terms of obesity as being able to substitute. But it ain't over until the fat lady sings.
I hear the footsteps
You-
walking around already.
You hear them
They
coming?
ain't come through the door yet. But I hear the footsteps and I hear.
Okay.
See.
See, big girls rule, Miss Son.
Big girls rule. And she ain't that big, so don't even try that.
How you know?
I know.
And he say you can't see.
You know?
Hey, because the floor ain't shake when you come in.
Oh,
my
okay.
goodness.
Lord,
Hey.
okay.
So you could tell when the drum moves too, right?
Yeah. That way in trouble.
Oh, Lord.
When you feel that tremor, you know it. Okay, yeah.
All right. Jerry, stop where you're ahead.
But anyway, people, we have reached the end of our show. Here at WSTX. Laughter is good for the soul. So we hope we gave you a good laugh at at the end of our show. So until next time, it's Doug and Jerry signing out. See you next time, next Thursday, same time, same place, different topic. Peace out.